Let's hear from some people in the audience. These are the most important people. Without you, there is no show. We take calls via Discord on the Friday show at davidpakman.com/Discord. And we will start today with Chris from Massachusetts. Chris, what is going on, my friend?
Hi, David. It is so wonderful to finally be able to speak with you. I had two quick questions that actually don't have to do with politics to start us off.
Sure, that's allowed.
First, I know that you are a fan of tango music, of course. I was wondering if you were into any other forms of Latin American music from other parts of the world. Do you like salsa, mariachi, any of those?
You know, I'm not huge on, let me put it this way. I like all of it. I just don't know enough about it to be able to name any artists. It's sort of like, I know when I go to certain restaurants or events, they have music of all of these styles that I like, but it's not like I take time out of my day to go and investigate artists or bands or anything like that. But sure, I mean, listen, other than country and hardcore heavy metal, I'll go for most stuff, you know?
Fantastic. Thank you. And my last quick question. ¿Se sabe lo que le pasó a nuestro gran amigo Pedro, el disque colombiano?
No sé qué le pasó, no me llama más, nunca llama.
Ay, qué vergüenza.
Sí.
I loved him.
He was the best. Chris asking what happened to Pedro from Colombia. Yeah, we just haven't heard from him. And honestly, it feels like years, Chris.
Oh, well, that's all I had for you. Thank you so much for taking my call.
All right. Chris from Massachusetts with a number of questions in a number of languages, and we love to see it. Let's go to Harry from Chicago, Illinois. Harry from Chicago, welcome to the David Pakman Show. How may I serve you today, sir?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, excellent. So I used to call in as Harry from Columbus. I don't know if you have any recollection of that. I've recently moved to Chicago. After some brief inspiration from you, actually.
Wow. Hold on. You moved from Columbus to Chicago because of something I said?
In part, I wanted to move anyway, but, just some stuff that you said really put me over the edge.
And why Chicago? Have I sung its praises before?
No, I mean, not necessarily Chicago so much as getting out of a red state and going into a blue state.
I gotcha. Are you enjoying that?
Yeah, I am greatly. I haven't driven on a highway in like 2 weeks now. I think my brain is finally healing a little bit.
That's good.
But it's been really good.
Well, to any extent that you want to thank me, I will accept the praise. Thank you.
Well, I mean, I know you used to also live in Western Massachusetts. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I went to college there. Do you know about Holyoke?
Yes, I do.
Okay, did you pronounce it Holyoke or Hoyoke?
No. I'm not into this whole Holyoke thing. I pronounce it Holyoke. Now remember, I'm from Argentina and I only lived in that region for a time and never in Holyoke, but I pronounce it Holyoke.
Yeah, it takes time to learn the language like Amherst and Holyoke. Okay. So my question about politics, after,
Please.
Last week's rulings, all the bad SCOTUS rulings, bad in my opinion, of course. How do you feel about SCOTUS? It's something that it engages in specifically is judicial review, right? Ultimately determined in, I think it was Marbury v. Madison way back when, that SCOTUS could do this. Now, other countries, other democracies, they don't have this kind of judicial review. Do you consider it something bad? Do you think more justices is the problem? People on the left have criticized that.
Yeah.
Do you think judicial review is needed to be a check and balance? What do you think about, judicial review of law that is passed?
So listen, obviously I am not a legal expert, so I speak to the political implications here. I do believe that there is a degree to which judicial review, meaning the power of a court to say this law that was passed, no good, it's unconstitutional. To some degree, it can be undemocratic. The 9 justices are not elected. and they can say, well, we're overriding the popular sovereignty of states and blah, 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 blah. Okay, but sometimes they may be making the right decision and we might want it. You can say judicial review is unreliable because, as you're pointing out, it depends to some degree on personal views and biases. We know that a left-wing Supreme Court versus a right-wing Supreme Court is likely to come down in different places on many important and controversial decisions. You can argue that judicial review is unnecessary in that there are better ways to protect certain rights, either by referenda or media scrutiny, or, but at the same time, sometimes you can't. There's the argument that it's counterproductive because then when there's judicial review that goes counter to the party that is in power, there's a backlash effect where the party in power says, all right, well, we're going to now figure out some other way to do the thing so that we can act, like Biden figuring out a different way to do student loans. So I think that there are really good arguments against judicial review, but where I am trying to focus most based on my audience and what I do is we have to remember that if Hillary Clinton had defeated Donald Trump, a lot of what we have seen from this Supreme Court would never have happened. It is undeniable at this point. This is not to shame anybody. This is not to insult anybody. I am doing a show that is based around electoral politics. We have an election coming up. We need to beat people over the head metaphorically with the reality that we may again have this sort of situation, depending on who wins in November of 2024, and that everything that's happened, the justices that are now on the court, Roe v. Wade, all of these different things, if Hillary Clinton gets to put a few people on the court instead of Donald Trump based on winning in 2016, we have a completely different Supreme Court. It's not a solution. It doesn't answer a lot of these questions, but it's a reminder about the importance of these elections.
Yeah, I agree that I don't have any delusions that judicial review is going away anytime soon.
Correct.
And I agree. If, 4 out of 9 of the justices are, were either stolen, elected from presidents who didn't win the popular vote, I agree that electoralism is probably the best way to beat the monster of SCOTUS, even though in the 200-year history of our country, it's been mostly a right-wing institution that has dominated us. With all that in mind, we can still hope. Thanks for taking my call, David.
All right, Harry from Chicago, great to hear from you. Just a reminder for people waiting to chat with me, you must have your name and location in your nickname. If you just have one or the other, or just a nickname or that sort of thing, you are not going to be called on. It's sort of just like, can folks follow basic directions? We're trying to have some filter, so we try to get quality calls. So we do enforce that. We do enforce that. One of our sponsors is Yada, the free banking app that makes it fun to save money. Just like a regular bank account, you can withdraw your money anytime and it's fully FDIC insured. When you keep your money in a Yada bank account, you'll have a shot at winning nightly cash prizes ranging from 2 cents to $1 million. For every $25 in your account, you get one recurring ticket to the nightly prize drawing. So if you deposit $100, you get 4 tickets every single night without needing to make any more deposits. Yada also offers some great budgeting features, the possibility of early paydays, a debit card that rewards you with up to 100% cash back, and tickets on every purchase. Yada members have already won over $15 million. So say goodbye to the traditional savings account with the minimal interest rate. Freakonomics have described prize-linked savings accounts like a no-lose lottery. Download the app now. Start saving for a chance to win big with Yada, the app where savings meets excitement. Go to withyada.com/Pacman. The link is in the description.